One, two, three. We're behind the scenes. Got to wait for our other live to go.
Hello, hello.
I think everything's working. I think everybody can hear us, maybe. I can hear me. We're going live today instead of doing a podcast. So we're going to just like drop this
Keeping it light.
keeping it light, doing a little short,
Mm-hmm.
do it a little bit.
Still talking about some things.
Yeah, I have to. See, because you guys are behind the scenes, I still got to do some stuff here real quick before we start. How's everybody's day? Tell us about your day.
Yes. If you're joining, let us know where you're from and what you got going on today.
Aw, see, we got some love over here.
Today is World Suicide Prevention Day.
It is. It is.
So we are going to be talking about it, bringing awareness.
We are, and then we're gonna talk about what we can do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that we can do that maybe not everybody's aware of how to. A lot of times people don't want us to talk about it. Like we're not supposed to say suicide, right? But the only way to break that stigma is to actually talk about what we can do, because
Well,
every
we have
40,
to talk about it.
yeah, and every 40 seconds somebody dies. And we can time it for you guys to see how long 40 seconds is. It's not that long. And that is based off of the World Health Organization.
So to me, because like, you know me, I just don't believe that's accurate. I think it's probably more, but it's just we always like to remind everybody you don't know what someone is going through. No matter what, always try to be as kind as possible. And you know, just try to uplift
Practice
people.
that kindness.
Mm-hmm. Uplift people. And, you know, like our girl Selena says, if someone's being an asshole, kill him with kindness.
Kill them with kindness.
Yep, kill him with kindness.
So we're going to be doing a short live today.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are you guys doing over there today? What are you doing? Okay, we're about ready to start our show. Maybe. Let's see. Just got to get, because everybody's behind the scenes today. Everybody has to deal with what we do all the time. Give me 1 second.
If people are joining us just now, let us know where you're from, what you got going on today.
Okay, got it. Okay, those of you that don't know us, I am Sarah.
I'm Jewel.
And I'm the mother.
And I'm the daughter.
And we have a podcast called What the F is Ladylike?
Because what the F is ladylike? We just, you know, we're not ladylike, so that's the whole thing.
So Suicide Prevention Day. Like we said, every 40 seconds, one person will die. So what can we do to break that stigma, right? Number one, we could talk about it.
I think always being able to talk about it, saying the word suicide.
Yes.
Saying the way suicidal thoughts, all of it. Being able to have conversations with people all around at school. So for teenagers or young minds, being able to have these conversations with people at school and not feel like they're going to be shut out.
Right.
Just same going to the parents. And
yeah. And a lot of times people think of people who have those thoughts as somebody who is depressed in bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case.
Or like they're just always just visibly looking sad, which Yes, to some degree, some people it appears that way. But there are many, many people who will show you a brave face and you will never know what they have going on internally.
No,
And the battles that they're fighting within their head, all of it. So it's just always practicing kindness. And what I mean, I could say I've done some growth throughout my life, even with people who are negative towards you. You just have to really keep practicing kindness with them because hopefully one day they'll get it and hopefully switch up and be a kind person, hopefully.
right. And listen, like one of the key things is to
Mhm.
listen to somebody. And a lot of times you're not going to agree with everything that somebody says. You have to take 20 steps back when you're thinking of somebody who is going through struggles. Just take those step back, just listen. Sometimes listening can go a long ways without even having to say anything. Sometimes people just need that, you know, support where you're listening, and never leave somebody alone.
Mhm.
Never leave somebody alone when they're feeling like that. And especially don't use judgment. A lot of times people are already dealing with um, some judgment, and that's a struggle that they're having.
I think one of my favorite things that me and my friend do is asking if it's okay to have like, oh, are you looking for feedback? Are you looking for my opinion on this, or are you literally genuinely wanting me to listen?
Mhm.
Because that's what some people need sometimes, is just listening, and they don't need your feedback on it and your opinion on it. They just honestly need somebody to hear them out.
Somebody to just talk to,
Mhm.
you know?
Let it out. Um, yeah.
A lot of times that's, one thing. And, you know, you think about it, let's think about every 40 seconds on TikTok. Your videos could be 30 to 40 seconds. Every 40 seconds, somebody,
You're driving down the road.
yes,
I mean, it's just like that quick of an instant. And um I really, really, really stick to the same thing that I go back to describing, like you see people and you can see the happiest appearing person, and that person can be really, really struggling. Um and so I think it's super key to not always assume that everybody's just okay. And I think something that our society has kind of slowly stopped doing is just caring deeply for other people, and they only care about themselves.
right,
Um,
100%. I agree with you.
and something that um like took me back, like we were taking our dog to the vet
Mhm.
and we were on our way back home, and the the light was starting to turn red and we stopped, and then it turned green, but we noticed that there was a kid who was coming to ride his bike, and we were like, no, letting him go, and all the cars, like we made sure to let him get by safely.
Right.
And this young, I want to say maybe 10, 11 years old, took me and my partner by surprise because he was like, thank you, have a great day. And I think people forget to say that to people. Have a good day,
Right.
or how are you doing, or like it's just always just the hi, bye, hi. Like, do you genuinely look at your cashiers when you're going grocery shopping and say have a good day, like with care? Or
So one thing that we have kind of changed, right?
mhm.
Well, no, I think we've always done it, but I mean, one thing that we've been doing is passing out little notes.
Yes, it's something that like we've always said kind words, like we've said, but this is something to where it holds something into like deeply, and like,
Right.
so when we see people all around in our community, um, And even when we went to the beach, um, we give them a little note, and sometimes they don't realize you could pop it open and it has a little sweet message in there. But one common thing that was a thing being said to us was that that had been maybe like the first nicest thing that they've ever had. Like that was super nice. Like, and they've never had something like that before. And it's just like that being heard to us like meant something. And um I've been doing this, my mom's been doing this, and my partner's been doing this. And so my child sees us doing this. She gave one to her teacher last week,
Aw.
and her teacher's a new teacher. And she goes, "It meant something to him." And I was like, "That's so sweet."
And it does little things
Mhm.
that people
Yeah.
take for granted on an everyday basis. Today, I'm rocking um, the suicide number 988 on my face. I went to the store. Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, went to the store like this. You should have seen how many people tried to avoid me and then do a double take. Yeah, I'm
And
from.
this hasn't been the first time. This has been like when um we were celebrating Pride Month
Yep,
and she was all glitz and glamored up and
yep.
people were like saying things and looking at her all weird. And I wasn't with her and I was like, damn it. And both times I'm not with her and I'm like, damn.
Some lady, she was like
Dodging.
dodging me, not wanting to look. And of course, it says it on my back, right?
People afraid of
Like I
color.
have it. This is like right.
Yeah. It's big in your face.
Yeah, I'm like really in your face today, right? Well, every day I'm in your face. What the F is lady like?
We try to honestly, I think like this year really kicked us into gear in like fighting for really like the things that are important to us. Um and you probably have just seen us getting louder and louder and louder.
Right.
And we're going to continue to keep getting louder.
We're just going to continue to get loud, especially those things that we care about.
And we're getting super passionate about because the thing is nothing's getting done, nothing's changing, and so we're going to keep talking about it until
We're going to keep being in your face.
Yes.
Just as much as we can.
Until mental health gets better, until human rights get better. Like we're going to be here. We're going to be here.
So one thing that we are doing is we are doing a giveaway, right? We already
Yes.
gave away 2 sweatshirts. We have
Yes,
one
we're giving
more
away
this week.
some of our merch, and it's honestly some
The
of my
best.
faves. Yeah, they're pretty good.
It's the best.
One of our new like slogans, I guess we've been saying.
Oh, let's tell them.
And I guess it's kind of been with like our motto, what I just said.
All
like,
year, this is our motto.
Yeah, like been kicking into gear, fighting for our stuff. It's like, bitch, don't bitch about it. Be about it.
Don't bitch about it. Be about it. And that's one thing is you can't complain about something if you don't get involved.
Mhm.
Right? Right? If you have
Facts.
nothing to contribute to, you can't complain about it.
I
I
mean-
can't complain about it.
I mean, and it's also like,
Right?
if you have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. If it's all negative,
I'm
like,
just gonna keep this by
if
my
things
hand.
are always so negative in your path and in your head, it means you got to work on some things. Because like I could tell you that I've had shitty health. And
Yeah.
it's been putting me in the dirt, and then it's like I've had to put my own life in my hands and fight for it. And that's when I've been slowly seeing some progress.
You gotta fight for
For
the
your
right.
right.
Oh, that's the wrong song. Wrong song.
That reminds me though. It reminds me though, is like I don't think like Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. It was like I don't think Miley was talking about the same USA. And I was like, no, different one.
No, different run. No.
It's like for a better USA that we haven't got there yet.
Oh man, we have gone so backwards. So backwards.
Literally. And then it's like no wonder why mental health is at an all-time high is because people literally can't just fucking live.
Right.
Can't just freaking exist.
You can't just exist.
So ridiculous.
There's so much judgment. Like, what is your guys' advice on judgment?
That's a deep question.
Right.
But one thing that I told my daughter, because I'm getting heavily involved in both of my kids' schools this year. So I was at a PTA meeting. I never thought I'd be a PTA mom.
PTA mom over here.
But I'm a PTA mom. And we were there pretty early, and the representation in my child's school, this is an elementary school, public, by the way. And it was just like very touching because somebody of LGBTQ, and there's representation of all human beings, of all different races and all ethnicities. And I was just like, you don't see this everywhere. And right now, in a few states, it is illegal to have that type of representation. I'm just like, oh, it's so sad. And so seeing that I was like, yes. I was like, at least my child's school gets it, is doing it, having this representation.
And she had to sit down with her and say, hey, not every school gets to be like your school.
And do you want to know what she says? Guys, kids' hearts are so pure. They are so pure. She goes, every child has the right to be able to go to school and feel okay. I was like, yeah, dude, you're right. Like, she's like 8.
She hit you right in your little feelers, right there in them feelers.
She's like 8 going on 18 running for president. Like, but she probably would never be a president. I mean, I'm not saying, okay, that makes me sound like a bad mom, but I'm talking about the stressful job duties. She probably would be like, F no this.
Right.
I know my daughter, she'd be like, no.
No. I mean, cleaning her room, it's a struggle sometimes.
She is the type of person who is wanting to help people out. So she's going to be like a activist. She's going to be like diving in the ocean, saving animals and stuff. That's where I see her.
She cares about that ocean.
She's going to save the planet.
Oh, she wants to save that planet. And then she's going to grow up like us and then go, okay, where do you flip and start?
No, honestly, because like, I know we all were kids once and we were like, okay, parents, and you're my mom. So I'm like, things aren't rainbows and butterflies. Why don't you warn me soon enough that being an adult is not fun?
It's not fun, guys.
Like, we were rushing so quickly to become adults. We're like, yeah, I want to become 18. Yeah. I'm like, no, I want to go backward. Let's go back. And we can't.
You can't take these backsies now.
No, but we all
takes these backsies.
But we're all like, let's get older.
Although our government likes to take these backsies a lot.
Let's
not get into that.
They do lots of takesies, backsies.
What are you guys doing today? You guys are popping over here.
Yeah. Let us know where you're from. Comment where you're from.
And if we missed your comment because we were talking, we are so flippin' sorry.
Ooh. Seeing if anybody.
Jill's over there messing around. I can't see. I gotta put my old lady glasses on.
Just think of her like Velma from Scooby-Doo. I can't see without my glasses.
Can't see without my glasses. Okay, so what are you guys doing? What are they doing? So another thing is we did put out there. What was the question we asked? Oh, I got to give a shout out to a couple of our listeners. Man, they're awesome when they comment and they're like, you guys are killing it. Keep on doing it. Of course, we're not actually doing a real podcast this week. We're just going to drop this live, so it's not going to be professional. No professional. So we asked the question. Some of you guys answered. Here in Portland, Oregon, we have a homeless crisis going on. And one of the facilities, Bybee Lakes, just got the emergency money through Multnomah County this week so they could stay open until the end of through December, I believe, emergency money. I think they got 1.5 million to stay open. But we asked the question of, what do you think the first step should be for your local government to help support this homeless crisis? So what should be the first step, right? We're in Portland, Oregon. And in Portland, man, I don't want to say it, but it's a shit show. It's a shit show. And we're trying to stay positive. Of course, all we have compassion. We have a Jewel and I have this big, huge compassion, and they decriminalized drugs here. So it's illegal to have small amounts of drugs usage, and a lot of mental health is happening here. We have a lot of people dying in the streets. And so when I pose that question aboard, because I know that other states have been successful with their homeless program, and a lot of no, they haven't. Fuck, maybe not. No,
I mean, like, I have
she
a
just gave me the evil eye, guys.
well, because I have a theory on it, and it's because there's people who are going out documenting and asking people if they've always been from Portland.
And they're not.
And they're
No.
not. So it just makes me wonder if certain governments in other states are moving their homeless to Washington, Oregon,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
I have a theory, but like then people are gonna be like, "You're just a wacko." But
I almost smacked her mic in her mouth.
I just feel like genuinely just talking to the people on the streets is just where you get the information.
Yeah, and
so
and they have a lot of harm reduction that's going on right now. And when you talk to the homeless, right now on the streets, it's making it worse. So, and they will tell you that a lot of times, the number one comment that we had, which I totally agree on, is housing. But you got to think about the steps of
for housing, you mean like money wise, right? But there's enough homes,
and
it's just the pricing.
Yeah. So the way inflation is over here in our area, it is hard for anybody to afford anything, is let alone a house. So
I just think there was a thing going around saying that millennials have like 200,000 saved up. I'm like, which fucking millennial? Because I know a lot of millennials, and we have nowhere fucking near. No. What? Where is
how much is it? How much?
They're saying that there was like, it was like a good percentage. It was like over 50% of millennials supposedly have $200,000 in reserve, like just saving. And I'm like,
okay, well, I turned 50 this year. Yeah, 50.
She's not
50.
A millennial. She's a, what are you? You're a.
If I'm 50, then what am I? What am I, guys?
Oh crap. I'm
a what? What am I?
Are you Gen X?
I'm a Sarah.
Are you Gen X? I think she's Gen X.
So
I don't know.
I don't have that. I don't have that in the bank.
I know.
Who has that in the bank?
Me and my friend were seeing this thing and we were like, we're all in debt. What the frick are you talking about? We don't have it.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Because all of us millennials were told, go to college. Go to college. We did. And now we're all in debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and on top of that, we were about to get a little taste of it. We were like, oh, yay. We were going to get our loans forgiven. They're like, F no. The rich people were like, no, you poor people need to stay poor.
They did like a takesies backsies on that.
Yeah, that's another takesies backseat.
They always takesies backsies.
Dude, me and Austin.
Like UFOs.
Me and my friend,
they would take back UFOs, then they'd put them forward. All UFOs is like a distraction. Although I do believe in it. What do you call it? So dude, she has a specific saying for UFOs.
Extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah. She won't let me call them aliens.
Well, because the meaning of aliens is rude. And I'm like, they're extraterrestrial. One, they're probably better than us. Duh. Way more advanced. And like, I've already told her this because like when this was all going around, like, what is this, like a month ago? Like everybody's asking like, oh, what would you do if they just landed? I was like, take me.
She's like, take me.
I'm like, get me fucking out of here. And everybody around me is like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm out. And then I'm like,
She's like, deuces.
and then my partner, he was like, oh, I'll go check it out to make sure it's safe and then come back for you. I was like, F you. What?
So let's reel it in because we were doing a short live. Right? We always get off track. See, what the F is ladylike is always getting off track. Always.
I mean, what's your guys' take on aliens? If they came, would you go with them or would you just stay here on this planet? On a real, like,
Would you be waiting out there? You just beat me up, Scotty.
yeah. Dude, everybody probably in this neighborhood thinks I'm a wacko because I talk to the bats.
Yeah. Well, I know. She waits out there. Let's just get real with Jewel here real quick. Okay. Let's just get real. She waits outside for
It's
this
at a certain
one little bat.
It's
You know
certain-
that little girl on TikTok? What is the freaking bats thing?
Mhm.
Oh God. She's probably old now,
No,
huh?
she's, I think, almost a
Freaking
teenager.
bats. That's what she is. The freaking bat. She waits out there.
Because there's a specific one and we talk every single night and it's my spirit animal, but Simon calls it my soul animal. I'm like, I think it is in my soul because we connect, man.
She's connecting to a bat.
And the whole thing is I've told her about this and then I was able to record it the other night and I sent it because it was the same bat. It's just so fun.
So we believe in like spirit animals walking with us in our journey through our life. So
People are probably looking at me, you're fucking weirdos. But that's who we
Okay,
are. That's who we
but
are.
I'm running around with, the suicide, number on me here. So that way everybody knows. I'm a walking beer,
This is the thing. We are comfortable with ourselves.
Yeah,
and in
we're
our
comfortable
skin.
within our own skin to even do this stuff.
So if people are
Frickin'
uncomfortable,
bats.
then that you're uncomfortable with yourself.
I'm gonna be having that stuck in my head all day. Freaking bats. I love freaking bats.
Dude, I watched her videos before my child was born, and I was like, want her to my child, and Emma almost kind of acts like that, but like,
Yeah.
not like this kid is funny. And
Yeah.
she's a teenager now, and she's still fun. Like she recorded because do you remember the one where she goes, smells like beef? Do you remember her when she like smells
That's
like beef? And she goes, literally, she's like, my parents were just cooking meat, and all I said was smells like beef. And she's like, it went viral.
It went viral.
And she says that as a teenager. I'm like, girl, you're funny. You don't realize the things kids say are funny. I don't remember her name though, but she's hilarious. And I know you guys know the freaking bats. I know you know who I'm talking about.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Freaking bats. I love
Freaking bats.
I ain't got a shirt that says that. Freaking bats.
Oh, reel it in, right? Reel it in. So we have to practice kindness. So how can, see, I have to try to reel it in.
Well, we were pretty much talking about
Reel it
it. We were
in.
talking about how we give out little cards. Like we always just try to spread out.
We're giving away our merch. We have one more to go.
And it's just always, I would think, like uplifting your community, like especially the area around you and your community that's an online community as well. And I think it's really cool that like you and I are part of this one group that is one of our favorite artists right now, Morgan.
If you don't know who Morgan is, guys,
amazing.
we also don't have just a podcast, What the F is Ladylike, but we also have a music and talk. And I'm sorry, but the Pacific Northwest is just killing it right there.
Yeah, we got some good shit.
And so we do have a music and talk. It's only on Spotify though. I mean, our podcast is everywhere, like wherever you can imagine. But Spotify turned around and said, hey, and bugged us for so long to do this music and talk show that we finally caved in. And it's only on Spotify.
Yeah.
But Morgan, we put him on there.
He's literally one of my faves. I've been loving his newer stuff because I think as like he's gone through a growth period, I'm going through it, and like his music is like matching my energy, and I'm just like, you're speaking to my heart. And especially the one that he's been pushing right now, My Revival. Go check it out because it's like really hits because it like talks about how like
Should we sing it? Should we sing it for you guys?
Well, because it talks about how much like people's opinions like you take in, and it's like this is my revival. I'm loving
M- m-
myself.
Morgan and Jewel have this everyday kind of conversation every single day.
Well, I'm always just commenting, and then he's commenting back, and it's just like I just really
Who
support.
else? There was the lead singer
Oh,
for
Lindsay from Paris.
yeah.
I go nuts for her. Though.
Yeah, but she comments back, and
I go
you know
nuts for her.
she freaks out. Of course, I think I'm an artist, and the first time I drew something of a celebrity, like I did it with uh, Kat Von D, and she liked it, and then I did it
Modson.
with Modson, and Modson freaking said something, and I about pissed my pants right there.
It's such a fun experience because, like, I don't know.
Imagine if you were a Swiftie and Taylor Swift said something to you.
Well, and
right?
you just and that happens. Taylor Swift does comment on things sometimes.
I mean, would you pee your pants?
I'm just like, but like, you just realize you're like, oh my God, they noticed me.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy smoke. And I guess that's how, like, one positive thing, because like I am not a huge social media lover. It's a good distraction, but it's got a lot of negativity to it. But it also has the upside of bringing people together in that kind of way, which I love. I wish it was always just all that positivity and bringing people together. But like that's like Morgan, now we have like we're part of this
We're part of this family now.
thingy, and we got this chat going on.
We do.
And it's so fun to be a part of. And
We
so
do.
he just is always uplifting, and he talks about the struggles and
The real struggles. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a struggle out there.
yes. And he's getting really real and raw with his feelings on his posts, talking about his struggles of suicidal thoughts and all of that. And I would just, go check him out because he's really good, positive energy right now.
So how many, you don't have to tell us, but how many of you have known somebody who has committed suicide? I have. My very best friend did. And the families and the friends that are left behind are trying to wrap their head around everything. And my goal all of September is to bring awareness to preventing this. Now, we know that every 40 seconds, somebody kills themselves. And we're not talking about how many times the attempt is. So I'm going to be out here just educating everybody, because a lot of times people don't know a lot about mental health, different types of mental health. There's several kinds. A lot of times we're going to be diving into autism. A lot of people don't know a lot about autism and how many different spectrums there are of it. And what?
This person said, "Oh wow, yes, I've been there when I was younger."
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm glad that you stayed. I'm glad I stayed, because I've had those thoughts too. And I think that we have a community that we can openly talk to about that. I had those thoughts too. And Jules had those thoughts too.
Mhm.
And I think we need to break that stigma of being able to talk about it, being able to openly talk about it, and know that there are people out there that you can just go and talk to. And I'm just telling you, I lost my best friend. And tomorrow's going to be one of the anniversaries on 9/11 of when she unalived herself. I took the day off.
Mhm.
I always take the day off because I love my friend, and I'm going to educate everybody about the awareness of suicide prevention.
Yes.
And if I can save one life, I have done my job. And I would hope that all of you will do the same. We need to break the stigma.
Mhm.
Every minute that you feel like you want to do that and you stop and you realize why you kept on so long, that is progress. That is progress. And we are here. We're not here all the time. We're crazy busy. But at any given time, if you see us online, you can talk to us. We will never talk to anybody
Mhm.
ever. We will get you the help. And I will run around with 988 on my face all day today. Call me crazy because I'm what the F is ladylike.
Yeah. Someone that was super important to me. Like, I feel like people need to have more conversations with vets and people who are in the military and what they struggle with, because those people try to have like this hard front saying that they're okay, and because they're brave and they're fighting for their country and everything. One of my really good friends, this was when before I had my son, but it was right after my daughter was born. Um, he had committed suicide, and it's just, I think what people go through is like, why, all like, oh, like what could I have done?
Yeah, a guilt. That's the
Mhm.
first thing I did was a guilt.
Mhm. Yeah. And then time during COVID, someone in my partner's family had committed suicide. Um, and that one kind of left me and my partner pretty eerie, because of how planned out it was. And that's where it's like you really don't know what people are going through and how long they're struggling, um, and contemplating this back and forth.
Right.
So it's just always, if people are important to you, make them important. Talk to them, message them. Doesn't have to be anything like too deep, but just always make sure they know you're there.
Yeah. So there was a comment. Can you flip back
Mhm.
and see?
One of my good friends took his life. I feel quite at time for not answering his call. I didn't know. I feel like you could kind of relate to that.
Yeah. So something similar happened to me. I did miss a communication and with my best friend, and I felt a lot of guilt. Um, and I felt like I should have been there. And I was working at the time, and then later on, she had she had killed herself, and I had been reaching up to her all up until the time, and I had no answer, and then she tried, and I felt a lot of guilt, but then I had to come to realize myself that what this happened. I couldn't own all of that responsibility, basically. And I did for years. I would,
Yeah.
just, I did. And now, I know she's with me. I mean, I can feel her with me all the time. And I talk to her, and tomorrow she'll be with me. She's probably with me now. I know she's with me because one thing is I can sense that push from her of the same thing that when she was here with me, I could sense it. And I don't think the friends, the family that is left behind, we're the ones that are always trying to wrap our heads around what we could do.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say?
Sometimes I wonder if I just communicated with him, he'd be here right now.
I felt the same way. I felt the
Mhm.
same way. And we can't take all of the responsibility onto ourselves we need to remember that person and who they were. But I 100% agree with what you said,
Mhm.
because that I felt that way. I did feel that way. I'm My friend passed away years ago, and it still affects me till this day. So, but I know she's with me.
Yeah. Um, and I don't know if this is gonna make anything better, but when I was younger, mainly more so than now, struggled really, really bad. I never really liked being here, and it's never been like my mom. It's just been like myself kind of thing. So I've always struggled with it. And so um I think just always consistently having my mom, my dad, and my brother as support growing up, and just feeling like they were always there. So it's just like, in a sense, maybe I like there's some things that they were trying to help me, and I would still find ways to do things, but their way is their way of helping. Um, I knew that they were doing it because they cared. They tried. Um, so, but people who are really going through it are going to do whatever to get out of that feeling, to get out of
Yeah.
that pain, because some people's heads are really, really dark places. And, reminds me of Chester from Lincoln Park.
Right.
Like he talks about like being alone in his head is one of the darkest bad places to be, and like that's what I could relate to. And it's like I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Right.
Being alone in your head is such a really dark, not the most positive place. I mean, and if you don't struggle, then you're a
But
lucky one.
we really need to be talking about it. I know that we're not supposed to be saying some of the things that we're saying. Social media doesn't like that. Social media doesn't want us to say, today is Suicide Prevention Day. That they don't want us to say that. But we need to make sure that everybody knows and is aware about it of it.
Yeah, there's one show that I and my mom watched, even my dad. There's scenes that they cut out,
Yeah.
and
It's
because
13 Reasons Why.
it was too much for people. If it's too much, then I would say just don't watch it, because that, coming from a person who struggled with the same thing, I needed to see that. I needed to see that there's other people that struggled the same way I did, to that degree. And people think that it's what they tried saying, it was glamorizing it, or
Yeah.
trying to like whatever. And they think that it was going to make people do that. Coming from a person who actually struggled, no. Like, to see that representation, that real raw representation that people struggle with, that's where it hits. And people need to get that, because if we keep tiptoeing around it and not bluntly talking about it, it's still going to be tiptoed around it, and we're going to still be in the same situations we're still in to this day.
Correct.
And we're not going to be able to help people.
It's the same. I mean, the only way for us to support one another is to actually communicate and talk about it, not just during the month. It should be every single month. I talked to my brother about this. He works up at the hospital, and he goes, nope, this isn't suicide awareness month. This is every single month, because we need to save people's lives. And that's like a wake-up call, because he is at the hospital and he is doing research, and he's like, no, Sarah, this is an everyday thing.
Yes.
We are saving lives every single day. We are educating people every single day. And it really, he's right. He's correct. So we're just going to keep on our
advocate. Like,
That's
we're
right.
going to keep talking about these things that I guess make people feel uncomfortable. But it needs to be talked about.
And that's fine if it makes people uncomfortable, but we need to break through to those people that are suffering with it right now with the thoughts. So that way they know that there are other people out there that they can talk to. And it doesn't have to be calling 988 every single time.
Yeah, I think being able to find a community where you don't feel alone is super huge. And that's where it's like with voices getting out there, talking about it, that's the only way that's going to happen.
Right.
And so it's just always talking about it. And it's like making sure you talk about it within your children in an appropriate way to where they feel like they could always come to you and talk to you.
Right.
Like it's just always, and like if you don't have kids, your friends, making sure your friends know that you're there for them. Always, like no matter what. Your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, if they are important to you, please make them feel important.
That's right. You got anything else to add?
I mean, it's
So
just like
whoever's commenting over here, check them out
I think
because
it's
they're going to win a merch here.
I think it's Angelica.
Angelica. So is that her name?
I think it's either Angelica.
Who's commenting over on TikTok?
I think it's
Because you're
yes, Angelica. Okay.
you're gonna get merch. So you're gonna email me and I'm going to
or message on TikTok.
you can message me on TikTok and I'm gonna send you out a merch and you're gonna choose what color you want.
Angie. Okay.
Angie.
Love that.
Okay, Angie, you're gonna have our last giveaway merch. Okay, and then so we are going to try and do a little research here the rest of the month on what we can do to support those that are suffering with the different types of mental illness. Again, making sure resources are out there within your community.
Mm-hmm. And then in October, I unfortunately am not going to be able to be a part of it due to thing I have to do for my child's school. But my mother is going to be there representing and doing the Out of the Darkness walk with AFS. So yay, my mom.
Yay.
Because that was something really important to me, but I cannot be there, which is super bummer. But I'm glad she's going to be there to represent and bring awareness.
I'm gonna be,
she's gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there. Be strong. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who is suffering and they are listening to our podcast right now, which we're really not doing a podcast, we're just doing a live and it'll go out.
It's going to be like a little video.
It's good. Well, I may put it out there on our podcast.
Okay.
I may. It'll just be rough. It's just going to be rough.
It's going to be
rough and random. We always like rough and random, right?
Yeah, that's our new thing. We're not editing. It's just going to be.
No. We just love our raw self these days, right? It's okay. We're okay in our skin.
Honestly, because to watch it back, it's like I giggle at myself. And it's
I totally laugh at myself. I'm like,
fun.
What did I say?
Well, there was one time when I was like, I touched my hair too much because I'm just sitting there
She's
touching my hair. And I do. So I'm like, well, good thing I'm watching that because then I need to stop touching my hair. So it's good to watch back.
TikTok gets to stay with us. But over here, until next time, I'm Sarah.
I'm Jewel.
Peace.